Hey guys, it's breakfast for dinner tonight, and that means one thing: pancakes. We just got back from our Labor Day camping trip in Vermont, and there is absolutely no food in our house, except for some real basics, which means we have everything we need to make pancakes, and we got the best souvenir you can get in Vermont, which is a very large jug of maple syrup. When I thought of pancakes for dinner tonight, I thought of this kitchen hack I've seen floating around the internet that I've been wanting to try. And the hack is that instead of flipping all your pancakes one by one on a griddle or in a skillet, you bake them all at once in a sheet pan. And I'm curious and skeptical about this. I'm curious because it would be awesome for everyone to be able to sit down together to a batch of hot pancakes. Usually what happens is one person is flipping pancakes for everyone else in the house, or with Sean and I. Sean does a lot of the pancakery around here, and he will be flipping pancakes, and then I eat, and then he eats, and we're not really eating together, and that's kind of a bummer. So basically what you do is you whip up whatever batter you like, you pour it into a sheet pan, and then put it in the oven. This means that a large batch of pancakes can all be done at once, and so everyone can sit down to the breakfast or dinner table together and have hot pancakes instead of one person spending all the time flipping all the pancakes and then getting last dibs on all the pancakes. So let's give it a try. So the first thing we're going to do is get our pan ready, because this is kind of the star of this hack. And I have a half sheet pan here that I lined with parchment paper to give me a little bit of extra protection from sticking. So we have about 3 tablespoons of melted butter here, and we're going to use some of that to coat this pan over the parchment, and this will give us extra protection from sticking, but also a really nice buttery flavor, and what I'm hoping is a little bit of a crispy bottom to the pancake. I'm a little bit skeptical of this hack because I think one of the most awesome things about a pancake is that nice little crispy top and bottom you get from griddling each one, and nice hot fat. And I'm afraid that what's going to happen is maybe we'll get a crispy bottom from this step. But I think the top might end up being a little pale and not very crispy. And I did see a version of this recipe that tries to make sure that the top has a crispy top. And so we will do that step when we get to it. And I'm really just liberally putting butter on this with this silicone brush that I have, which I love. I love using this for all kinds of glazes and greasing a pan like this. It's really helpful. And the silicone brush cleans so well. So this is very buttery. And that's exactly what we want in our pancake, because buttery pancake's a good pancake. And then the next thing we're going to need is a pancake batter. You can use any pancake batter you want. What I noticed when I was looking at all the different recipes online, it looks like you're looking for a recipe that has about 2 cups of flour or 2 cups of liquid, and then some additional things like eggs, a little bit of sugar, and that sort of thing. So it looks like the recipes are looking for about 5 to 6 cups of batter and volume to fit this pan. So I guess the next thing we need is pancake batter. So this is our favorite pancake batter recipe. We've tweaked it from America's Test Kitchen, and wait, what? You want the recipe? All right, take 30 seconds and check this out. Cool, so I'll post that recipe below, but we got our batter here. And what we're gonna do is just spread it out on the sheet pan. And we wanna be careful not to get rid of some of these air bubbles that you created from the leavening. So we're just gonna pour this out and very gently get everything in the bowl out onto the sheet. And I'm gonna use this offset spatula to just help nudge it into the corners and just make sure that this is all as even as possible. All right, so that looks pretty even. And we're ready to go in the oven. I have the oven at 450 and I have my racks. I have one on the very bottom and one on the very top. And what I plan on doing is I'm going to put it in for about 8 minutes on the bottom so that will crisp up the bottom. Then I'm going to move it to the very top to hopefully make the top all golden brown and delicious. But one more thing. Because I never grew out of my affinity for chocolate chip pancakes, I'm going to spread half of this with chocolate chips and some chopped toasted pecans. That is the other benefit of this hack, that you can create a bunch of different pancakes for everybody in your house. So if you have people who like blueberries or strawberries or bananas, you can spread those toppings out across different quadrants or eighths of your pancake sheet pan, and everyone can be happy. All right, now time to put this in the oven. I'm gonna put it in the bottom rack, and the oven is heated to 450. There's our timer for the first 8 minutes. So we're going to take this out. Like I said, this was at the bottom rack for 8 minutes. And I'm going to pull it out and put it in the top rack for about 4 to 5 minutes and see where we are. There's our second timer. Let's take a look. So I put that on for 13 minutes. 8 minutes on the bottom rack, and then 4 or 5 minutes on the top rack. Let's see what we got here. All right, those actually look done when you do the sort of cake test where you touch the top and the cake kind of bounces back and it doesn't sort of sink in. That means it's done. But as I was kind of concerned about, this is pretty pale, and you're not getting that nice and golden brown look that you get when you griddle your own pancakes. But the hack that I saw for that is to now broil these. So I'm going to set my oven to broil. Then I'm going to brush with butter and put those in broil. And I think that I'm going to let it sort of broil for about 4 minutes, turning 90 degrees every minute so that I don't get a really dark brown spot and have some pale. So I'm going to do that now. Setting my timer, or setting my oven to broil. And then brushing with the rest of this butter we have here. It's going to be a little tricky with the chocolate chips, though these chocolate chips look so good and melty. I love it. There is nothing better than chocolate chip pancake. Well, as far as pancakes go. All right, so I have this all buttered up. We have the broiler on, and I'm just going to broil this for 4 minutes, turning 90 degrees every minute. And the broiling did make this a lot more GBD, golden brown and delicious. Well, hopefully delicious. We'll see in a minute. But definitely, when I first took it out of the oven, it was very, very pale. But when we broiled it, we got this nice, and it is pretty crispy crust there with the butter. So that is very promising. So let's give this a taste. So the idea is you can cut this rectangle into portions of your size, equal portions of your size, depending upon how many people you have. But we're just going to go ahead. Let's go with chocolate chip because it's my fave. And I'm using a pizza cutter for this. So this looks pretty good. It's not maybe as fluffy as I would get, I think, when I was making a griddle pancake. It's a little bit thin on the edges, but the middle section here is a little fluffy. So maybe I just didn't spread this as well as I should have with the spatula. But the bottom does look golden brown and delicious and a little crispy, which is what I'm going for. So let's put the good stuff on it and see how this tastes. I'm going in for a second bite, so you know it's good. Okay. So like I said, the edges are a little bit thinner than I like normally, but it actually means they're really nice and crispy from the butter, the melted butter on the top and the bottom. And it tastes just like your normal pancake would. It tastes like our normal batch. So I will definitely be making these again. And I think that these would be really great for a big family, or if you're having a brunch or a breakfast party. You could do 2 of these at once and have a bunch of pancakes all ready to go. I also think these would be good for meal prep. And what I would do is maybe make a couple of batches of these and cut them into pieces and then put parchment between them and put them in the freezer so that you always have pancakes on hand. So I'd call this a success. I'm going to put the recipe to this pancake batter below in the description. And as always, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe and hit the bell to be alerted when I drop a new video. I'll be dropping videos every Friday at 11:45 Eastern Time in the morning. And until next time, go have some fun in the kitchen.